Friends, namaste again. Continuing the teachings of Bhagwad Gita. So let's move on to next shlok. Actually, until now we have just gone through shlok 18, and then now let's go on to shlok 19, a continuation of, or you can say an elaboration of the previous shlok. Added some more aspects to the original shlok. Let's listen to the mool shlok.
य एनं वेत्ति हन्तारम् यश्चैनं मन्यते हतम् उभौ तौ न विजानीतः नायं हन्ति न हन्यते.
That's the beautiful shlok which says that the Atman, that is the self, neither dies nor born. It means that energy is a continuous, is in the form of a continuity. Continuity. It doesn't like take births. It doesn't die. Just in between, it takes different shapes. Suppose you might have seen a long tube of glass, which is like formed in a way that at places it's straight, at places it's like a ball, at places it's like a spiral kind of thing. So at places it's narrow, at places it's wide. So if you pour water from one end of this glass tube, so what happens wherever this water flows, it takes the shape of that very glass. I mean, that very part of the glass wherever it is flowing. The same way, it's the energy which is in a continuous form. That's how the Hindu saints, rishis, scientists, they discovered about the God, so-called God, and what we call it, Paramatma. The self is non-doer, and as it is immutable, it is neither the agent nor the object of the act of slaying. He who thinks I slay or I am slain with the body or the ahamkara, that is ego, he doesn't really comprehend the true nature of the self. The self is indestructible. It exists in the three periods of time. It is Sat. Sat is truth, existence, which prevails. That is Sat. When the body is destroyed, the self is not destroyed. The body has to undergo change. In any case, it is inevitable, but the self is not at all affected by it. Mool shlok first.
अजायते म्रियते वा कदाचित् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्यश्शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणः न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे.
So in this shlok is clearly mentioned that the Atman, it never ever dies or takes birth. And it has been said up to this extent that in any kal means in any time, neither in past nor in present or in future, it doesn't die or it doesn't take births. That the birth and death happens to this body only. That's the human body or any form of body, like the animal body or human body or trees or this earth or anything, planets, sun. So these are formed and they just die after some certain age, after certain time. Humans, they die after like 70, 80, 90, 100 years. And sun after millions of years. But Atman, energy, that is Shakti, it doesn't die. In any time, in any period of time, it doesn't die nor it take birth. Let's quickly go on to Shlok 21. Again, it's almost the same. So let's see what is there in it.
वेदा विनाशिनं नित्यं य एनमजमव्ययम् कथं स पुरुषः पार्थ कङ्घातयति हन्तिकम्.
Shree Krishna says, "Hey Parth, the person, and who is that person? He cannot be a normal person. He's a very very Gyani Purush, who is very very learned or a rishi, or as enlightened sage. he can only know this thing, that Atman is indestructible, and whoever knows, he also knows one more thing, that he cannot cause another to slay, or cannot do the act of slaying. He cannot kill anybody, and he cannot be get killed either. So that's what the meaning of shlok is. Again, let's go to the next shlok, shlok 22.
आसांसि जीर्णानि यथा विहाय नवानि गृह्णाति नरोपराणि तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि.
Shri Krishna says, likewise, the humans, they discard their old clothes. So the same way, what happens? This Atman, it leaves the old, worn out body. A person dies after attaining the age of 80, 90 years, or someone maybe around 100 years. So what happens? Are they as young as when they die after 90 years or 100 years? Are they as young as what they were in their 20s? No, they just get older, very weak. That's why this Atman, it just discards that old body and gets a new one. Let's go to further to Shlok 23.
नैनं छिन्दन्ति शस्त्राणि नैनं दहति पावकः न चैनं क्लेदयन्त्यापः न शोषयति मारुतः.
Again, another explanation, that no weapon can kill this, nothing can cut this, no fire can burn this. His commentary goes like this: the self is indivisible, it has no parts, it is extremely subtle, it is infinite. Therefore, sword cannot cut it, fire cannot burn it, water cannot wet it, wind cannot dry it. So the processes which happen to the physical forms of matter, they cannot happen to the Atman, the energy. And let's go to Shlok 24.
अचेद्योऽयमदाह्योऽयम् अक्लेद्यो शोष्य एव च नित्यः सर्वगतस्थाणुः अचलोऽयं सनातनः.
The self is very subtle, it is beyond the reach of speech and mind. It is very difficult to understand this subtle self. So Lord Krishna explains the nature of the immortal self in a variety of ways, with various illustrations and examples, so that it can be grasped by the people. Sword cannot cut this self, it is eternal. Because it is eternal, it is all pervading. Because it is all pervading, it is stable like a statue. Because it is stable, it is immovable. It is everlasting. Therefore, it is not produced out of any cause. It is not new, it is ancient. Means it is Sanatan, which doesn't have any beginning, which doesn't have any end. Now let's see Shlok 25.
अव्यक्तोऽयमचिन्त्योऽयम् अविकार्योऽयमुच्यते तस्मादेवं विदित्वैनं नानुशोचितुमर्हसि.
Here Shree Krishna says that this Atman is like, it's not perceivable. You cannot perceive this, you cannot feel this, you cannot sense this with your physical senses. It can hardly be seen by the physical eye. Therefore, the self is unmanifested. So your eyes cannot see it. So because you cannot see, your eyes cannot see it, so it is not manifested. Means you're not able to see it, so it's without any form. Which is seen by the eyes becomes an object of thought. So if it is seen, so it's an object of, like we see the flowers, so beautiful, it's an object of thought. Milk when mixed with buttermilk changes its form. The self cannot change its form like milk. Hence it is changeless and immutable. Therefore, thus understanding the self, thou shouldest not more. When you understand the self this way, that you cannot feel it, you cannot see it, it doesn't have any the properties, the characteristics of any bodily form which can be felt or seen with the physical eyes or the physical senses. So when you perceive Atman like that, you should not mourn about the death of this physical body, that you are not the slayer, you are killing those humans. Now here one thing which usually the people of other religions, they try to make it out that here Hindu gods, they are asking for killing. I mean, they say if you kill, you shouldn't like mourn about it, you shouldn't think bad about it, you just go and kill them. Yes, but you should know one thing, that it is being said to whom? To Arjun, the warrior, the Kshatriya, who is fighting and who has just dropped his weapons and who has just relinquished the thought of fighting the war, demoralized, and any soldier who's demoralized cannot lead to winning a war. And moreover, one thing everybody should know, every Hindu should know, rather every human should know, that here Shri Krishna doesn't say that you kill the other human for the sake of getting to heaven, for the reason that they don't belong to your kind of religion or your kind of something relating to you. It's being said to the person who is fighting a war for a reason. And it is said that in Hinduism, it is said that it is the dharma of the warrior to fight and to save his country. It is not for any other reason that you belong to this religion or that religion, you belong to this god or that god. No. Here the reason is very simple, that you are doing your dharma. If you are a worker, it's your turn to work in an efficient, in a very loyal, disciplined way. So that's your dharma. Please spread this, like the video, comment in the comment section, and please subscribe the channel Eternal Nature Values. Thank you. Namaste.